Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Maths Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. We're going to be talking about how to differentiate a polynomial, okay? How do you differentiate a polynomial? If you've not watched my videos on the types of polynomials, we talked about different types, the quadratic, the cubic, and the rest of it, please go to the channel and review it. So here we're just going straight on how to differentiate it. And before I move on, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. If you have any question, please don't forget to reach out to me. And also, don't forget to click the notification bell so when I post new videos, you'll be the first person to know. So we're going to show you how to differentiate a polynomial. So if, for instance, you were told to differentiate the additions or subtractions of polynomials. So for example, you have y is equal to g of x plus h of x plus to infinity, or you could have y is equal to g of x minus h of x plus p of x, all to infinity. So basically, you are having addition or subtraction of polynomials. So remember, we talked about polynomials, and I'm not going to go straight into the concept of polynomials because we talked about that earlier. All right. So let's dive straight into how to solve this. Now, in order to solve this, there are three rules for this. All right. So we have three rules. So the first thing you have to do is that you have to differentiate each of the terms. Okay. So you differentiate each terms of functions. So you differentiate each of them using previous rules. So we've talked about different differentiation rules before. Then after you're done with that, then you then add or subtract the results, depending if you're adding or you're subtracting the functions. All right. So you add or subtract the results. Then after that, number three, you then what? Simplify. Okay. So let me explain. So let's say from the first one we talked about, I said g of x plus h of x. So what you do is that if you have y is equal to g of x plus h of x, for example, so what you do first, you have to differentiate each of them. So let's assume when you differentiate the y over the x, will now be, you differentiate this on its own, you get g prime x. Then you differentiate this on its own, you get h prime x. Then the step two, you add or subtract. So in this case, because it's adding, then you add it, and that is that. If, for instance, you have subtraction, it's going to be exactly the same thing. Okay, so if you have something like this, what you differentiate this separately to be g prime x minus, differentiate this separately, h prime x, plus, you differentiate this separately, p prime x. So you have to, basically, you just differentiate, applying all the rules we've talked about for each of them, and you just solve it, okay? So let's pick an example. Let's assume we have this. We have y is equal to x cubed plus x4, all right? So the same thing, differentiate each of them. So in this case, I'm going to have the power rule. So I'll bring down 3 to be 3x. 3 minus 1 will give me 2. You bring down 4, it will be 4x. 4 minus 1 will give me 3, and that's the answer for that. All right? So you need to make sure you know how to apply the power rule. Is very important. So because in order to differentiate a polynomial, you are basically applying the power rule or any of the relevant rules, okay? All right, so if you already say you have y is equal to 5x squared minus 10x cubed. So the same thing, the dy over dx for this is going to be, you differentiate this separately, and that will give you 10x. You differentiate this separately, so be 3 times minus 10 will give you minus 30. 3 minus 1 will give you 2, and that is, x2, and that will be the answer for that. So you pick another one. Let's say we have y is equal to 2x minus 2x7 minus 3x, let's say 3x5, anything. Then dy over dx will now give you, this will give you 14x6, because 7 times 2 will give you 14. 7 minus 1 will give you 6, minus 5 times 3 will give you 15. 5 minus 1 will give you what? 4, and that will be the answer. All right, let me just pick one more. Let's assume we have 3x plus 1 over 4x squared. Okay, it's the same thing. So dy over dx for this is going to be the same thing. When you differentiate 3x, it's going to give you 3. We talked about this already. Then 2 times 1 over 4, and that will give you 2 over 4, which is the same thing as 1 over 2. Okay, then x, 2 minus 1 will give you 1, and that will be the answer for this. All right, good. So I want you to try this once. So you can try this. If you have y is equal to 2x plus 4x raised to the power 13. Number 2, we have y is equal to x cubed plus 4x cubed. Number 3, we have y is equal to 4x raised to the power 10, yes, minus 2.5 raised to the power what? 7. And number 4, we have y is equal to 3 over 4 x raised to the power 4 plus 5x raised to the power 2. Okay, I want you to try this. So I want you to find the dy over dx for each of this. All right, so basically it's exactly the same thing. You just follow the rules, differentiate each of the terms, add or subtract based on what the question you were given, and also then you then simplify. All right, and that will be that for this video. All right, so the next video I'm going to talk about is differentiating an exponent. Okay, how to differentiate exponentials. You have to, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell, so when I post the next video on differentiating exponentials, you'll be the first person to know. All right, and if you have any questions, please let me know. If you are trying to solve these questions as well and you see you're struggling, you can send me an email or you can put it in the comment section, then other students can help you out and solve that as well. All right, see you soon. I'm going to see you in the next video where we'll talk about how to differentiate exponentials.